What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with a vintage Star Wars market update. We've got everything from Holy Grails to Stealthy auctions, where there were some really good deals to be found. And before I begin any further, we've got another subscriber giveaway. All you have to do is be a subscriber, like this video, and comment below. This time, I want you to comment with a question. Give me a question. I'd like to do a Q&A session with you guys. You guys really provided some great commentary in some of my broader theme type videos, such as the Flight to Quality video, talking about high-grade figures, the Holy Grail search during a boom economy. You guys provided a lot of really good stuff. Collecting Fatigue was another video I made recently where you guys shared your thoughts. So let's do another one. Let's do a Q&A session soon. And so in order to be entered to win this figure, this is VC212, the Clone Wars Tartakovsky ARC Trooper. And here he is. It's probably like 85 condition. And it's interesting. I canceled my pre-orders with Walmart because I was so fed up with their pre-order process. And even though I canceled it, Walmart still sent me 2 of these. It's just classic. I mean, it's just a classic example of how Hasbro is so messed up right now. Or not Hasbro, but Walmart. But anyway, this is the Tartakovsky, really nice animated style clone trooper. Here's the back of the card. I love the card backs. I discussed these in a video recently. So it's not perfect. It's got some very light wear because, of course, Walmart sent it in a jiffy bag. But given that they did send it in a jiffy bag, it's actually in pretty decent shape. It's probably an opener, but, you know, it still looks pretty good, you know, if you wanted to keep it mint on card. So this is the giveaway. I'll ship it anywhere in the world. As I said, just be a subscriber, like this video, and then leave a question for me. It could be about anything, whether vintage or modern, in the comments. So we will do a drawing here over the next few days. Also, I want to say thanks to my Patreon supporters. You guys allow me to make more and better videos. The final housekeeping note is that if you have any collections that you're looking to sell, I don't buy them personally, but I do help people sell their collections, and I've been doing it for a while now, and I've placed a number of very, very large collections here recently. Everything from small, you know, $500 collections to a larger collection that was many thousands of dollars. So if you have a large collection and you don't want to deal with eBay fees and taxes and eBay selling fees or buyers that return stuff or stuff getting damaged, reach out to me by email, actionfiguregrader@gmail.com, or on Instagram by private message, which is @actionfiguregrader, and I'll help you. I know a number of different buyers that can help place the right collection. So let's dig right into some really awesome vintage Star Wars goodness. This was a 21 back A Death Star droid, AFA 80. The subgrades were 80, 85, 85. It was punched. It did have a little bit of spider veining above the hang tab there, as you can see. But maybe it looks like right here, there's maybe just some slight litho damage. But what a beautiful example of the 21 back A Death Star droid. Collectors really like this one because it didn't have any of the offer stickers that you saw on the 20 backs. And it's a beautiful item. It was a beautiful item, and it was at auction. And it sold for $910 on 21 bids. I think that's a pretty good buy right there. I've got one of these, I believe, at Collector Archive Services. I don't expect it to get an 80 grade. It's probably like a 75 grade at best. But this is a beauty, a beautiful 21 back Death Star droid. And somebody got a pretty good deal there relative to some of the prices that we've seen recently for the 21 back Death Star droid. Here's another one I really liked. This was a 21 back Empire Strikes Back card. So this is like a transition card that only featured the first 21 figures. And this had the free secret Star Wars action figure. More on that a little bit later on. But a number of these have sold recently. And this one was the Death Squad Commander. I was thinking about this one, but it was just too expensive. I've got a 31 back at Collector Archive Services for the Death Squad Commander, so I'll be curious to see how that one comes back. But this one was graded 80, straight 80s, beautiful punched card with the target price sticker. It was listed for $1,200, and the final sales price was $1,000. And for those of you wondering where to look that up, if you go to 130point.com, you can type it, you can search by the title of the eBay item, and it'll spit out what the sales price was. Thank you to Barry Scott, Patreon supporter, for that information. But this was a beautiful 21 back, and it sold again for $1,000. Best offer accepted. And I did kind of a potpourri style for this video, where I kind of skip around in terms of early stuff to later stuff. And this one's a later one. This is a Power of the Force Ramba, last 17 figure. This was unpunched, really clean card. That one sold for $299.99 plus $20 shipping. So let's call it $320, one bid. But that was a very clean 92 back, and it was yellowed, of course, but that card was very, very clean, probably an 80 plus. It looks like it did have one little crease right here that didn't show up great in the photos. So again, you got to really zoom in, but I still think it's an 80 or an 80 plus for that Ramba. Here was another tough one to find. This is the Luke Bespin, but this is the orange-haired Luke. It was only a 70, but you know, these orange-haired Luke Bespins are not particularly easy to find. And this one sold for $190 plus $9.45 shipping, so about $200, let's call it. There's the label on that, orange-haired Luke Bespin Fatigues AFA 70. I don't know if that's a good deal or not. I have no idea. I mean, I bought one ungraded before, and I sent mine in to get authenticated, but I just feel like there's so many different hair colors, it's hard to always tell what color this is, but you know, the photos were not great, but it does look like the orange-haired Luke. It's a lighter color. It's not that ginger kind of mustardy color, not the olive-haired version, not the brown-haired Hong Kong. This is truly, it looks like the very light orange kind of color to it, and there it is right there, orange-haired Luke. This one was a C-3PO removable limbs, graded 90, very high grade from Collector Archive Services. I like how they display it with CAS, where they have the cargo netting framed beside the figure instead of behind it, the way AFA does it. That one was listed for $325, and the sales price was $290 plus $6 shipping. So about $300 is what a high-grade C-3PO removable limb sold for. That's a pretty good price, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty common figure. They produced this particular figure by the boatload, so but it is high grade. And if you're gonna get a high grade removable limbs 3PO, it's going to cost you a little bit. My gut says, though, that if this was at auction, it probably would have sold for less than that. It probably would have sold for less. I think it would probably be $200 to $250, but what do I know? I could be completely wrong. Next, we have a China country of origin. You can see the CH there on the label. Let's see if we can get a better look. There we go. CH for the Luke Skywalker Farm Boy. Blonde hair, dark pants. That sold for $270. AFA 80 example. Older style case, but still very, very nice. $270 is a good price these days for any kind of high grade Luke Farm Boy. I think that was a pretty good price. $270 plus $10 shipping took that one home. This one surprised me a little bit on the high end. This one was a 47 back Cloud Car pilot with the free Forlom offer sticker. This one was a yellowed blister, but the accessories were still taped on the inside of the blister. The subgrades were 80, a yellowed blister 80, as I mentioned, and then the figure score was an 85. That one sold for $521 plus $16 shipping. So that's, you know, about $535 or so took that one home. That seems a little high to me, but I mean, Cloud Car palette is moving up. We've documented a number of either loose graded examples or mint on cards over the last few months where it shows the Cloud Car palette is really ramping up in terms of price. So, but that gives you a data point for an ESB card back in really nice high grade condition, albeit a yellowed blister, but still very, very nice. It's very faint yellowing. The same seller had this one, another free Forlom AT-AT Commander. It was punched and it was yellowed. It was graded 80 by Collector Archive Services. The subgrades were 80, a yellowed 85, and then a figure score of 80. That one sold for $350 plus $16 shipping on 26 bids. Very nice example there. Talking about what I started the video with, Stealthy Auctions. This was an AFA 80 plus Tebow, no COO. The most common Tebow is the Taiwan, but the Tebow no COO would be found on like Palatoy Tri-Logo cards. But this was AFA 80 plus and it sold for $40. $40 on free shipping. You can't even get it graded for that these days, and that's a really good deal in my opinion for an 80 plus Tebow. Now, is this figure going to appreciate substantially? Probably not. probably not. But if you're looking for a decent, a decently high grade, I mean, that high grade is 80 plus near mint score. And for that price, you can't beat that price. I'm sorry. That's a great deal, whoever got that one. And, I think if you can find these kind of stealthy auctions where you're getting not the 85s and 85 pluses and 90s that go for stupid money, but an 80 plus is right below an 85. And that's a really good deal. Brand new case style. $40 on free shipping is a fantastic deal for that. On the other end of the spectrum is this one. This is a Lily Leddy Boba Fett with removable rocket. And I think CAS should be spanked for how bad this case is. This figure is jostling around inside the case, as you can see here. It's not firmly kind of entrenched. I think for any kind of holy grail type of figure like this, both AFA and CAS should automatically put this in like a recessed kind of, they make these recessed cases like with my bootleg figures that I got from, that I had custom encased by CS, where they kind of put it in like a little well. I think that should be required for both AFA and CAS for those kind of figures, because this case, I don't know if they mismeasured or what, but it doesn't look great. It doesn't look great to see a removable rocket Lily Leddy Boba Fett kind of jostling around inside the case. It just doesn't present well, and I think that CAS should offer to get this recased. But this was a CAS 60. You can see some wear around the pouch on Boba Fett, some wear around the shoulder gauntlets, and around the chest, things like that. But it's a nice figure, don't get me wrong. You can see the rocket kind of encased next to him there. $6,188 took that one home, plus $20 shipping. Let's not forget that. So it's $6,200 for that removable rocket, made in Mexico, Lily Leddy Boba Fett. What a figure! But thumbs down on that case. Here's another stealthy auction. This was an AFA 80 plus Weequay, Hong Kong COO, brand new case style. That sold for $69, free shipping. That was another really great deal, whoever got that. Here was a Luke Skywalker Stormtrooper, and circling back to my video about flight to quality, we've documented a number in that video of these last 17 Luke Skywalker Stormtroopers that sold, that were AFA 85 or CAS 85, that were over $1,000, $1,000 to $1,300 that sold and documented at that. This was an AFA 80, so right below that, and this one sold for $500. It says $675 in this eBay listing, but it was actually lower than that. I looked it up on 130 Point, and the final sales price was in fact $500 for that. That's a really good deal. That's a really good deal for an AFA 80, admittedly an older case style, but given where we documented in that video some higher grade examples selling for $1,000 to $1,300, $500 for an AFA 80 was a really good deal in the current environment. Here was another 21 back. As I mentioned, we talk about a few others. This one did have some creasing. It was unpunched, but it did have some creasing at the top there, and the score reflected that. It was an AFA 70. That's what held it back. It had 85s for this other subgrades, but because of that creasing in the upper portion of the card back, it got the overall 70 grade. That one sold for $575. And then here's another 21 back, Snaggletooth. This one sold for $550 plus $13 shipping. It was an AFA 75. The subgrades were 75, 75, 85. I don't know what it is. I don't like the Snaggletooth on the 21 back. This one, however, this Walrus Man really pops. And I know that Secret Star Wars action figure, more on that in a little while, but I know that Secret Star Wars action figure logo kind of covers up Walrus Man, but there's something about that orange and blue figure on that card back with that offer sticker that really pops. That really looks nice. The Snaggletooth, on the other hand, it just kind of blends in, and I don't know, maybe that's me being picky. The actual offer sticker is perfectly placed. It looks like Snaggletooth's holding it. it's pretty cool, but I don't know. I just think that he looks better on the 21 back Star Wars racetrack card back versus this one. Here is one that really sold for a big boy price. This was an AFA 85 clear blister EV99. not the greatest photos in the world, but you can see the logo there. This is the Power of the Force 92 back. Last 17 EV99 clear blister straight 85s. That's as good as it gets. Case fresh right there. That sold for $2,500, $2,500. My question to you guys is, does that stay clear? I don't know. I don't know if that stays clear blister or not. In 5 years, is this going to yellow like the rest of them? My gut says it probably does, but who knows? But between now and whenever it does yellow, that's a really pretty EV99 with a clear blister. So congratulations to the seller and the buyer on that one. Here's on the other end of the spectrum. I don't know why anyone would want to buy this, but this one was a 3-pack Sears 3PO R2D2 Chewbacca sealed box. So you've got a Sears catalog 3-pack still sealed in the shipper box. What, you know, AFA 75. It was listed for $2,400. It sold for $2,160. Now, to me, I think I would love to have this if it had been opened and the figures were displayed next to it inside the box and, you know, all engraded that way. But I don't know why you want to spend $2,000 on looking at a cardboard box. That's just that's just me. That seems like an unnecessary buy to me. But, you know, if you're a big department store mailer collector, I guess it's a whole, you know, considered a pretty good grail there. But there's just something about that. Having a cardboard box on a shelf doesn't appeal to me at all. Going back to the Stealthy auction, we've got an 80 plus Rebel Commando. This was the China painted face. This is the most common country of origin for the Rebel Commando, the China painted face. That's just the most common one. This was an 80 plus and it sold for $76. So it's something, I don't know if and all of these Stealthy auctions were from this exact same seller. So I don't know. I don't know why, for some reason, his auctions just didn't show up for folks or what. But $76 for an 80 plus Rebel Commando is a pretty good price. And admittedly, these are all really common Return of the Jedi figures. They were produced in the boatload, but those auctions just did not hit for some reason. This was a Lily Leddy Stormtrooper AFA 80. Pretty desirable figure there. Very high grade with the archival case for maximum UV protection, so that beautiful snow white Stormtrooper doesn't yellow over time. That was a gorgeous example. That one was listed for $599 and it sold for $395. $395 is a pretty good deal for the made in Mexico Lily Leddy Stormtrooper. That's a really nice bright white figure, and very, very nice deal. I think very fair deal. Here was a vinyl cape Jawa. This was graded 70 plus. And that one was listed for $2,850 and it sold for $2,500. $2,500 was the accepted price on that. I've got to adjust personally in my mind the prices for vinyl cape Jawas, because that price seems really high to me. But talking to Rogue 5 Toys and Chris W over there, he's like, look, man, if you got an AFA 85 vinyl cape Jawa now, that's going for $4,000, which is crazy to me. That's over double what I paid for mine. And that's what the price is for a very high grade. So you got to back down from there. And for a 70 plus, $2,500 is probably market right now, which is crazy, but that's what it is. Here was a AFA 75 still factory sealed Tauntaun. It was listed for 1,000 Canadian dollars and the final sales price was 909 Canadian. That's equivalent to about 800 US, I'd say. I didn't look up what the currency conversion is because it didn't show here in the auction results, but you know, let's call it $780 to $800 US for that Tauntaun. That seems like a pretty fair deal for a mint and sealed box Tauntaun. And then finally, this one was a pretty good deal. This one was a Wampa mint and sealed box. It did not have the crease on that flap that sticks out. That's very hard to find, and I think that would probably grade an 80 all day long for this mint and sealed box Wampa, and it sold for $476. $476 US or 600 Canadian. That's a pretty darn good deal if you ask me. I would have paid that all day long. And I had been watching it, but I was just, don't have the funds right now. Don't have the funds. But I think that's a really good deal, whoever got that. I think that will grade an 80 or maybe an 80 plus, somewhere in that ballpark for the Hoth Wampa. Very good deal. As a reminder, if you want to be entered to win this VC212 Tartakovsky ARC Trooper, all you got to do is be a subscriber, like this video, and then leave me a question. Leave me a question, and I'll automatically enter you to win. We'll do the drawing in about a week. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.